we are live. Welcome to Radio Mythoverse for June 18th, 2019. You just heard the Adobe Kroger theme from Zal and Talus, the digital download of which was made available in our recently funded Kickstarter campaign. So if you backed it at certain tiers, you will receive a copy of that song in your inbox, along with the rest of the digital rewards. Now, Zalin's done a lot of work for a lot of different independent creators, including the Rags team, so he's quite the prolific composer. I'll put a link to his channel called Comic Book Music in the description below. Good evening, folks. I'm Dan, and with me tonight are the other two lead creators of the Mythoverse, Brett and Matt. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, just working on stuff for Mythics.
You're working on stuff for Mythics. How about you, Brett?
I had a board meeting with Matt earlier, just working out some finer background details for the larger Mythoverse. Or some kind of. I am kind of in a comfy place at the moment, and just waiting on more updates from Victor, which I recently posted in the Changeling Sketches channel over on our Discord, which they're all marked with spoilers, so keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, so if you're a backer and you want to check out those sketches, make sure that you are aware, as he said, that they are marked as spoilers. So proceed at your own risk if you want to be surprised when you receive your books. So, anyway, as Brett and Matt have probably already intimated, as last week I have good news. The Mythoverse artists have had their money dispersed from the Kickstarter funds. And that means our work is done here and we can all clock out and go home. Right, guys?
No.
Yep,
Of course not. No, that means our work is just beginning. And now the artists are hard at work. Actually, let me go ahead on that note. Let me go ahead and shift over here to the slideshow. And I will be displaying some works in progress from all three books. And you can observe what the artists have managed to accomplish as we go along here.
Yeah, I'll be dropping in the new pages that Victor just sent me in the Discord as well.
Yep, I got as many new pages from the Discord, and we'll be including them in the slideshow as I could find. So if you have any new ones, please share them in the Discord, and anyone in the Discord, have a look at it. It's pretty awesome. It's coming together great. Victor's really starting to show some chops here with some dynamic angles and some really great layouts.
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, actually, in page 12, we actually ended up sort of changing the order a little bit. It was originally we were gonna have that. I think it's page 12. Originally, the last panel was gonna be more like the second to last one, but when he put it last and with the line that Maeve had, I think it actually sold the emotional impact of that line a lot better. It's kind of like I'm amazed. It's kind of amazed that I've got an artist who can go off script or from what I do, and it actually ends up making things better. Like, it's not often you can. I don't know how many other creators can actually say that.
Well, I can say it to a degree. I mean, Leandro hasn't really gone off script per se. He has, however, gone off of camera angle directions, which I learned as a writer, you really need to let your artist loose and let them come up with some of their own ideas, because they will invariably have a very good chance of improving your original ideas. So don't be in love with any of your compositions. I know you got a vision in your head, but let your artists show their stuff, and you'll be pleasantly surprised in a lot of cases, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's a collaborative effort.
It is a collaborative effort. Like I tell Leandro, when he redesigns layouts and panels, I consider myself a scriptwriter, and you are the director, cinematographer, post-production, and all that. So by all means, please please cut loose.
Yeah. I can remember like years ago when I first started getting on YouTube, there was a channel, I think it was called the Comic Collective. They put up like a series of like interview videos they put up. Those things are like from years ago. They're like ancient YouTube. One was with Garth Ennis, and it was talking about his work on Hellblazer.
Mm-hmm.
And how when he started working with Steve Dillon on that, like how the two of them just clicked immediately, and he found out that and it clicked so well that he could write a script that was so sparse, like with very little direction, and he knew that Steve Dillon would nail everything he had in his head perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of those artists where he did not have to give him a whole ton of direction.
Yeah, when you're connected creatively, you got that what they might call simpatico with your artist. You
I
definitely
call it synergy.
synergy too. Same idea. So with that, with all that being said, since our work is just beginning, the artists have their heads down, and they've got their money, and now it's on them to deliver the product. So they're going to be busy, and so what are we going to be doing between now and then? Because we are delivering the books to backers by September 21st, and based on what we've heard from our artists, we're well on track to do just that. So we're all super excited. But in the meantime, what are we three going to be doing? Because we're not sitting down drawing the books for hours and hours. So to that end, we have a couple of things we'd like to announce. First off, last week Matt, Brett, and I had a discussion about the division of roles within the Mythoverse editorial and writing staff, by which I mean us three. After some consideration and some discussion, I think we arrived at some roles which I think best suits our abilities and temperaments. And you don't want to ask someone to do something they'll hate, because then you won't get their best work. And I want to make sure we all do our best work. So to that end, we came to the conclusion that I think Brett is the one who is best suited to be responsible for community outreach. He's very good at developing relationships on social media, and he seems to enjoy it. So he'll be our first point of contact with the outside world. He'll be active on the Discord and on Twitter and on other social media as time permits. And we all will, but I'd like him to be the main point of contact here. And Salem just entered the chat. Hey, Salem, glad you can make it.
Hey, Salem.
Howdy.
Always glad to have Salem. He's a great guy. You will be able to read an interview with us in the upcoming Wicked magazine that he conducted. So can't wait to read that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Okay, so next, in terms of the roles, Matt will be taking on the role of head writer, which is to say that he'll be responsible, aside from, of course, writing, he'll be responsible for maintaining the continuity between all the three titles in the Mythoverse and all future titles. So if you're developing a property that's a good fit for the Mythoverse and you want to talk to us about including it, well, Matt will be working with you to make sure it falls within the wider world and timelines and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's the job that Matt would be happiest with. And Matt, do you agree?
Of course. And just so you guys know, I don't bite.
Yeah, but you will be anally retentive about it, though.
Yeah, we do want to make sure that any other creative people that we work with in this endeavor has the greatest amount of creative freedom. It's their work, but it also needs to make sense within the world that we're building here. So, like you said, he doesn't bite, but there are certain things that need to be followed for everything to work as well as we can.
Yeah, we're not going to be extremely tight, but we're not going to be so loose that we end up losing all idea of continuity.
Right. That's what will make it satisfying. I mean, like, if you're not a big reader and you're more of a movie person, just look at what they did over the last 10 years with the MCU. If there wasn't that tight continuity, it wouldn't have been nearly as satisfying when it all wrapped up with Endgame. So just think of it like that. And like Matt said, he doesn't bite. Just be nice, and we'll be nice.
So Gorgonite got in the chat and said, "So no lusty Argonian maids, gotcha."
Well, that's negotiable. Lusty maids are always negotiable. Just work on your pitch, and we'll see how it fits. And as for me, I'm going to be more or less the buck stops here guy. I'll be handling the boring details on the business side, and I'll act as editor-in-chief. I'll make sure that all of our stories and books are the best that they can be, so everyone gets the best value for their money. In other words, direct all complaints my way because it will be my fault. Okay. So we are getting our act together a bit, you might say. So on top of that, getting a little bit more organized behind the scenes, which is not really all that exciting, but it is very important. Moving on to something more exciting, we're going to be taking some steps to provide additional audio content in the coming months. We're having a lot of fun with this weekly Radio Mythoverse show, but we want to offer a little bit more. So to that end, I'd like to announce that we're working on developing what, for the lack of a better term right now, I'm calling it a Mythoverse Storycast, which is a regular podcast series, perhaps starting out like maybe once a month, depending on our schedules. And it's going to consist of a series of short vignettes, little stories set in the Mythoverse, showing the world and the events therein from the point of view of like witnesses or bystanders to begin with. And also we'll have occasional cameos from the characters Maeve, Eltha, or Dobie, or people who know them. And there's also a very strong chance that there will be some kind of overarching tapestry which connects them and sets up things in the wider Mythoverse. So it should be very exciting. It'll give the readers and listeners a better chance to immerse themselves in the setting while they wait for the books to come out. So it's all in hopes of building out our community a bit more and fleshing out the Mythoverse to make the books all that more satisfying when you get to read them.
Yeah, that's actually really cool because like we get to see the same universe from different perspectives. Like there's, I mean, like our book, I don't know about you guys, but like I've got so many side characters in Changeling that like I could basically write half a dozen stories just from the perspective of some of Maeve's friends.
Which is a perfect fit for this project. Hey, Heather. Heather jumped into the chat and she says, well, that sounds awesome. I agree, Heather. It is awesome, and I can't wait to show it to you. So since it will be an audio cast, the short stories will be read by professional voice actors that we will hire, and they will make the stories really come alive because I want to add sound effects, music, and all that sort of thing to turn it into sort of a radio play. It could be really cool.
Speaking of which, something I also started up was if anyone was paying attention to the Discord over the past week, particularly it was Sunday, I set up a Twitch channel for Maeve.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
what that means?
I was going to announce that, but you beat me to it.
The premise behind so the premise behind that is that Kylie, who did the voice, who's now sort of become the voice of Maeve. I mean, like, I honestly can't picture anyone else doing her voice. To be honest, she nailed it so well in the trailer. And she really loves the character. Character really relates to her. So what I kind of thought up was like, people kind of like the idea of being able to interact with the characters. So what I did was, I just came up with the idea, like basically on a lark, like just set up a Twitch channel where Callie would just play games in character as Maeve. So there's a link to the Twitch channel in the Discord. Actually, I'll send it to you, Dan, so we can put that in the description. But yeah, no, and if anyone's wondering, you can, if you want to donate, all the donations, they're gonna go to Kylie. I'm not keeping any of it.
Yeah, and we will continue that theme momentarily of not keeping it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So yes, the Maeve Twitch is another piece of audio content that we're going to be offering, and like Brett said, any proceeds from it go to pay her for her time, for being in character while playing. So so the first episode of the Storycast will have a short story set in each of the 3 Mythoverse settings. And down the line, we'll be accepting submissions from listeners if anyone wants to add their 2 cents to the Mythoverse. So I can tell you, I don't want to spoil too much, but I can tell you that the first episode that I'm writing will involve a runaway that has a run-in with Adobe Kroger. So that will be a good way to kick everything off.
God damn it, Gorgonite! You gotta make it weird. You took something that was wholesome and then you made it weird.
Yeah, well, that's Gorgonite for you.
I know. I know.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't absolutely have it any other way. So, on top of the weekly Mytho Chibi strip that Antonella helps us put out every Wednesday, which there will be a new one tomorrow, so I'll make sure to to link that in the Discord and on all of our social media.
Mhm.
So on top of that, you can expect at this present time, I think it's realistic to say that we will be able to get one of these out per month, but there will be a lot of content in each one, and it'll be well produced and it'll be exciting. So, so to that end, to Brett's point about all proceeds going to the creators, over the next couple of weeks, we will be opening an official Mythoverse Patreon, mainly in hopes of providing a way for our readers or listeners to support the Mythochibi strip and the audio content. So all money that we get from that will go directly back to the voice actors and artists. We're going to keep the tiers pretty small. We don't want anyone to feel like they're breaking the bank, but even a little bit will help.
Yeah. Pretty much. So, which means that in the someone's asking about Subscribe Star. I don't think we took that off the table.
No, I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, I've been trying to engage. When I was doing Molly Beans, I put that on indefinite hold so I can focus on the Mythoverse now. I tried PayPal. I tried a couple of the other alternatives, and very few people were engaging on it. Just Patreon at that time had the brand recognition. But hopefully, if more creators set up on those platforms, we can end the stranglehold Patreon has on it. But yeah, for now, Patreon. And yes, I'm absolutely in favor of trying Subscribe Star. If we can get some adopters on it, that'd be great.
To be honest, I think the end goal would be for us to set up our own subscription service, just so we can cut the middleman out.
That is the goal. Yes, I want to have everything on our own platforms eventually. Once we're able to get to that point. So we just have to have the community and the resources to justify it, putting in the time to building the platform. So anyway, so that's those are our announcements. We've got a little bit more organized behind the scenes. We've got some new content coming out, and
Hey, Heather just brought up something. She asked, are you revamping the Molly Beans Patreon for this or launching a new one? I believe that we're past the grandfathering in of non-paid creator packages.
That's a good question. I mean, I could revamp the Molly Patreon for this. I mean, I still have a fair number of supporters on that. Given that I had canceled the strip, I was planning to simply take it down, but I suppose I could revamp it, and anyone that was supporting me before could simply, continue supporting me there. That's also an option. Right now it's paused, so my patrons aren't being charged. Yeah. So
I'll definitely I think in my case, I'll just be closing the Changeling Patreon. I mean, it was bringing in like $30 a month at best. So I did at least touch bases with my backers, with my patrons, and the people in the Changeling Discord, which I'm also going to be closing at the end of the week because there's no point in keeping it. It's just redundancy at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they want to talk to you. We're here, and this is where our community is. So.
And like I said, I did touch base with everyone who was on the Discord, which thankfully wasn't a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. So, real quick before we get on to our next topic, I wanted to show off some cool fan art we just got tonight. Let me switch it over here.
Is it the stuff that Dylan put in the chat?
Yeah, you're gonna see it on screen in a moment.
Hold up.
Okay, so yeah, we just got these 3 pieces of art depicting the Mythoverse girls post-workout, and there seems to be a running theme of rock-hard abs. So they're obviously doing a lot of crunches. They're obviously doing a lot of core strength exercises. I bet Adobe can plank for like 5 hours.
In case anyone's wondering, yes, Maeve is legal in this.
Yeah, Maeve is in her 20s in this point.
18 at least.
Yeah, so these are fun. I really like this. I really like that there's a set of them. So
yeah, it was done by Dylan Fagan, who's yeah. I'm gonna see if he'll jump into the chat. And I added it. Oh, hey, you there, Dylan?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, so yeah, we're showing up the putting up your fan art on the show right now.
Nice.
You know, I'm gonna say I kind of picture Adobe being the type who just does cardio, runs the treadmill, and probably practices whatever martial art they train paladins in.
Right.
Well, in the novel, it's revealed that she's actually quite lazy. She has an intrinsic advantage in that her power burns a severe amount of calories, so she can really just go out on a mission and stay in shape,
Right.
regardless of what she eats.
Right. Well, since Maeve is like 18 in the drawing, this could be like, after she meets everyone and she's like, you know what, I want to have nice washboard abs like that.
Heather says I relate to Adobe's laziness.
Yeah.
I relate to Adobe's alcoholism.
Oh yes.
Well, yeah, but I think it'd be kind of cool to have her kind of grow as a character, like that, where she does become more active.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that she will. To the point of alcoholism, one of the running gags is that paladins are trained to resist inebriation, charm, or anything like that. So Adobe says, I can stop myself from getting drunk, I just choose not to.
I don't know, so she doesn't hit the treadmill on a regular basis then.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a line in the book that when she activates her combat mobility prayer to run at top speed, she says, I have to brag at how fast I was running because I never made it past week 3 on my couch to 5K attempts. All right.
I think Maeve probably just gets winded running the mile in gym class.
I think I can relate to Adobe. I don't go on the treadmill. But I am gonna start Slim Fast though. So
Nice. Let us know how that goes.
yeah, and I'm cutting out all sugar.
That's always good.
Gorgonite says, a woman after my heart. Yes, mine too.
Somehow I get the feeling Althea is the only one who actually lives a semi-healthy lifestyle.
Well, she eats what she can. And that doesn't usually mean the healthiest of foods.
Everyone I draw is healthy.
And, well, basically she does work hard for her body, so there'll be times... What? Gone?
Do what?
Oh, well, so there'll be times where the issue will open up with her working out because she just ate probably some White Castle or anything like that.
White Castle. Oh, God.
That's budget.
Out here, the only place I can get White Castle is the frozen sliders at Walmart. I don't think I've found a White Castle in Washington anywhere near me.
Funny thing is that there's a White Castle near Walmart I go to.
Gorgonite has an interesting point. Brett, Alfie is the most normal one. Matt, well...
I think he
define normal.
I think he captured your inflection perfectly.
Well, yeah. Well, compared to Adobe, anyone's normal. That chick has got baggage enough for a Greyhound bus.
Okay,
very true.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, and I just looked on Google Maps. I don't have a White Castle anywhere near me.
Well, good news. Those sliders are taste like reheated White Castle.
Yeah, I've had them before. I did not think they were that great.
Yeah.
It's like if I want a burger, I'll just go to Carl's Jr.
Funny thing.
You mean Hardee's?
Funny thing is that I've got in the same within walking distance. I could go to White Castle, Hardee's, or Tim Hortons.
I'm sorry, Heather just said Greyhound doesn't allow that much luggage. Yes, you're right. I take that back.
Oh, poor Adobe.
Poor Adobe. We love her
I think
anyway.
So
the
after-
I think the biggest injustice to living in Washington, to be honest, is if you want coffee, the only option you've got, as far as chains go, is Starbucks. I have yet to find a Dunkin' Donuts anywhere near me.
You don't have a Tim Hortons near you?
Maybe closer near the border.
Well, to be honest, Michigan is almost part of Canada.
Michigan is
wow.
just Diet Canada. That's all it is.
Oh, come on,
Diet
Washington.
Canada. That's nice.
There's a Vancouver, Washington.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Is Tim Hortons just not a Is it just a border thing? Like it doesn't go deep into Washington at all?
I'd have to look at. I don't know. I'm looking at Google Maps right now. Yeah, nope, no Tim Hort. Oh, there's a Tim Hortons on. Street.
We could probably blame
fuck,
the
it's up in-
stranglehold of Starbucks.
It's up in BC. Yeah. Look, I've only got my only options are local cafes or Starbucks.
I swear
Not
to
much of
God,
an option,
when I
honest.
visited the Pacific Northwest, I swear I wasn't seeing things. There was a Starbucks on either side of an intersection.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm not making. I once joked when I first moved out here. There's like a Starbucks on every block. It's now real. I literally can find a Starbucks on every block just going down Pacific Avenue.
That's the same way it used to be with GameStop before they died.
Yeah, even down here in Florida, if you want to find a Starbucks and you don't know where one is, just drive for a while. You'll see one.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, down here in Texas, we have Whataburger, so yeah.
I would just
like every other thing. There's a Whataburger. Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
yeah. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I know Whataburger
Yep.
exists.
Star Storyteller says, "Hey, I have working today, so I can't join, but have fun, everyone." Thank you. Yeah, we'll miss you
Thank
this
you.
time, but hopefully you can make it next time. Always have a lot of fun talking with you in the chat.
But yeah, like if my option, if it's either Starbucks, which is just crap, or local, which are you gonna pick?
Right.
Heather says,
So,
next time you're in Orlando, I can show you a shopping plaza with 4 in one spot. I'm afraid. Like, if I stand in the center where they intersect, will I ascend to a higher plane or a lower plane?
Probably lower. You'll probably descend to a lower plane, to be honest.
You'd probably have to add another one. That way you get the pentagram effect, and then you stand in
Oh,
the
God.
middle, and you become Ron Howard.
Or
Oh,
Todd
hey.
Howard.
Oh,
Yes,
hey.
What?
Someone gonna say something?
I
Yeah.
thought someone was gonna say something.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like I posted in chat when I posted those drawings on my Facebook page, a friend of mine asked, "Dylan, do you have a foot fetish?" Like, no, but I like abs.
Hey, man, you like what you like. Embrace it.
And to
I
be
mean,
honest,
but
to be honest, when it comes to feet, you'd be hard pressed to top Troy.
like if you post a picture of feet, all of a sudden here, hey, it's Mr. Marvel. Like he's just like bursting in a room. I see you got some feet.
Yeah. Troy's a trip. I love him.
Yeah, you was sure happy with that.
I love that guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I was surprised his entry of Maeve had her with shoes on.
Well, I think he knew that. Well, actually, no. You're talking about the adult Maeve. Yeah, I'm really surprised that she had shoes on too.
To be fair, there is one without shoes.
I'm pretty sure he didn't want to seem weird about it.
I know.
So anyway, real quick, I was thinking, we've had like a string of like blockbuster disasters over the past couple weeks. one of which I'm sad about, and the other two I'm happy about. Like, I'm sad Godzilla didn't do well, but I'm perfectly fine with Dark Phoenix and MIB International not doing well. So I started to think, these films have a lot of spectacle, but it didn't connect with their audiences, and I was wondering. So I said, hey, what if I showed my 16-year-old, well, he's not 16 yet, he will be this month, one of these older films. Like, I showed him The Warriors, right? And there's that's from 1979, so there's literally no visual effects in it whatsoever. Everything is practical, and it's all just about people on set. And he loved it. He flipped over it. He was laughing at the fight scenes. He was having a great time. And I was like, wow, this simple little film managed to engage this kid from the modern day. And he really didn't care for any of those other films I just mentioned. And he's been pretty bored with films lately. He didn't even want to go see the Endgame.
May I just add in that when I went to go see Godzilla, there was mostly just an older crowd in there. But when I went to go see John Wick 3, which is in a little closer to the Warriors compared to the big blockbusters, I mean, I saw dozens and dozens of 10-year-olds with their parents in there.
Oh yeah, my 16-year-old, he loves John Wick. He flips over it. I mean.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm just agreeing with you because it's like, you've got all these spectacle shows, but yeah, kids seem to be a little more attracted to the thing that seems a little more authentic.
And that's a good word for John Wick. It is authentic. Like, the third one was a little bit more silly than the other two, especially with the horses, but it was still much easier to connect with the action, I think, than it was in these other ones.
I had introduced my my 13-year-old nephew to Star Wars recently. I mean, the original trilogy. I mean, he thought they were awesome. It was really cool. I mean, did you hear about Kathleen Kennedy? She apparently got replaced.
I heard that someone new got appointed, and I saw that on Twitter, but I didn't really pursue it because it didn't interest me that much. Gorgonite Emissary says CGI has made filmmakers lazier. Changed my mind. Well, visual effects in general, they can be something of a cheat if you don't use them properly. If you use them right in service of the story, they're perfectly fine. But use it to distract you from the fact that anything meaningful is happening, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
I think
well,
you go, Matt.
All right, thanks. Well, the thing about visual effects is that there are movies that don't do well because that's all they rely on. And it's not just a recent thing. One of the reasons why Star Trek: The Motion Picture failed was because all it was about was the special effects, about making it into this big budget visual spectacle, which they tried to do it with 2001: Space Odyssey, but what really did
Star Trek: The Motion Picture was basically an episode of Star Trek: The Original Series stretched out over an hour,
but without any of the charm of the original series.
Yeah, but that's what I'm. No, that's kind of yes and no. But what I'm saying is because a script for the show would have been written with much more with all the fat chewed and with a much more brisk pace.
Well, not so much that, because they threw out the character interactions. One of the things that made 2001: Space Odyssey work better was that there was memorable interactions between Dave and Hal.
Well, not just that; it was also very atmospheric, and it was really good at creating a mood.
Yeah, 2001 and Star Trek, I would argue, were more about the atmosphere and the experience than the story.
But the problem with Star Trek: Motion Picture was that it did not have the feeling of a Star Trek story. It really didn't have the same interactions that Kirk, Spock, and McCoy had.
Yeah, I think what they were going for was this is them later, and they're kind of rediscovering each other. Because, McCoy was retired, and Spock was trying to go through the ceremony that removes all emotion, and Kirk is like trying to wrestle with the fact that he's becoming obsolete and all that. And
Honestly,
Yeah.
well, that actually got that they addressed a lot better in Wrath of Khan, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, But I'm gonna have a hard time disagreeing with that. I think one thing I would like to say is that the problem with CGI is that, like, I think with the over reliance on it, when you get right down to it, making movies is essentially trying to get people sucked into an illusion, make them forget. If a movie makes you forget that you're actually watching a movie, that is the sign of a really good movie.
Right.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And when they're relying so much on CGI like, the artifice just becomes that more apparent because there was no way they could have done that.
Yeah, there's also the character. You need to have them get invested in the character rather than just the spectacle.
Well, that's true, but it's just more like, kind of compare original Blade Runner to Blade Runner 2049, and like how much work went into the effects for the original, and like how they just basically cheated through 2049.
I think a movie that really did like a good balance between special effects, character development was Alita: Battle Angel.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh,
Same.
dude, that's really
Everyone
good.
says it was good, but I haven't seen it yet.
I highly recommend it, but it looks like that Blu-ray release is going to be delayed.
Yeah, I'm really sad about that because that movie was fantastic. Like, I will fight you on the side of the street if anyone disagrees. Not really, but this. Oh my god, that movie was really good. I love it. It's probably on my top 10 list of favorite movies.
Mm-hmm. I missed my chance to see it because I can't get out to movies very often. And I kept saying I'm gonna see this, and by the time I had a chance, it was already out of general run. So I will have to catch the Blu-ray.
Yeah, Alita feels like it just came and went in the theater.
Yeah, it did. Gorgonite says atmosphere
may or may not. Oh.
Sorry. Atmosphere and experience is all nice, but if you're just making me gawk at slow panning shots of the Enterprise for minutes on end, I will get bored. And Heather Scott agrees. This.
I'm not gonna argue that.
But at least the good thing about it was that it allowed for the second movie to reuse some of that footage.
I never noticed that.
Yep, they did.
I've not seen the Star Trek movies. Wasn't 2 better than 1?
2 is one of the classics, if not the most classic.
Everyone says it's the general consensus is Wrath of Khan is the best Star Trek movie of all time.
Also has the worst comic adaptation of all time.
How's that?
Because IDW took the Kirk storyline and wrecked it.
How'd they wreck it? What'd they do with it?
Basically, they had written scenes all out of order, and the direction they had with Kirk, such as with the speech that he gives where he's taking command of the ship, makes him seem more sad than have that more triumphant tone that movie has that Kirk is back in command. And if this adaptation was written during a time that Wrath of Khan was released, I can understand the changes. But this happened 20 years. I thought 20 years after the movie was released.
Why bother to adapt it 20 years later? I mean, the story was perfect.
Because IDW wanted it for their Star Trek movie omnibus.
Oh, okay. It's very hard to improve on that film. Like, even with the dated effects, it's still so well paced and so well executed.
Yep.
And that final scene in the Mutara Nebula is just so tense because every single phaser shot is critical. And every single time they exchange shots, you're like, oh shit, oh, he missed. Phew.
Why is it that like comic book adaptations of movies are usually like really poor?
It's like the John Wick comics were very bad.
Yeah.
It's just because like they're just because they're 9 times out of 10 they're just banking on the brand name.
Honestly, I think the adaptations for 5 and 6 were good.
I think I would though have to ask, like, if you're gonna adapt a movie story into a comic book, the question I'm gonna ask is, okay, what am I gonna get from this that I did not get from the movie?
Truth be told, the idea of a comic book adaptation of a movie is rather dated because it was originated during a time where we didn't have VCRs. Movies went in, and that was the only time you got to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a huge deal. A huge deal
Yeah,
to
but
see a movie back then.
Yeah, but nowadays you can, like, they're kind of unnecessary.
It's also kind of backwards because usually, like we said in the last stream, comic books are essentially storyboards, so they're destined to become films.
Even if they sell only like
767 copies get you a Netflix special, yeah.
That was bull crap.
Well, with some of them, like Star Trek V, they add in certain things that weren't in the original film because of budget.
Right, and that's the one thing you can do, and you can also explain things. Like I think it was in the Last Jedi comic, Luke fell over because he slipped on wet ground. Like Rey didn't knock him over.
Lame.
Yeah.
Fucking really?
Yeah, that's why he's yeah.
I think that was Chuck Wendig.
Heather says the Fury Road comic was cringy. I don't want that film defiled by anything. That was a perfect movie. I didn't
know that existed.
Wait, there was a Fury Road comic?
Yes. Apparently. I did not know that, and I don't want to know. I'm perfectly fine with the film. It was a perfect movie, and I forgot that movies could be that good that aren't 30 years old.
Yeah.
Blind Artist just showed up to the chat. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Eric.
But yeah, I mean, like, what the... Yeah, but yeah, seriously, what the fuck? I mean, like... I will say, though, like, comic book tie-ins to movies, now that's a different story.
Although...
Like, the Monsterverse had a couple tie-ins with, like, Godzilla Awakening and Kong Return to Skull Island.
Yeah, though I kind of feel like if they're going to do comic book adaptations of movies, they might as well be considered patches to the movie, such as giving them more the characters more motivation, explaining things that weren't explained in the movie, or showing important deleted scenes.
Yeah. Gorgonite says, "What? That makes that effing scene even worse." Yes, it does. He's talking about the scene where Luke slips.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I still have yet to see Last Jedi, and I don't think I think I'll go to my grave never seeing that movie.
Yeah, there's really nothing to be had from it.
So, okay, so you mentioned the John Wick comic. He's supposed to be like younger in that.
Yeah, that's actually a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, but he looks exactly the same.
He should look like Neo, not John Wick.
or Bill, or Ted. Sorry, Ted. He was Ted. That'd be great.
Could you imagine a John Wick comic, but like a prequel comic, but he's like acting like his character.
He's got the same suit. He's got the same beard. He's got the same everything.
Look, we all know John Wick is timeless.
I'm relatively sure he's the angel of death.
Keanu Reeves is timeless.
Yeah.
But Keanu Reeves looks the same in the year 2077.
Yeah.
Fuck! Somebody dug up a 19th century photo of him.
Johnny Silverhand is pissed because someone kicked his Robo Dog.
Oh yes, I love that meme. Yeah, it's LOL. It's just a robotic dog, and then you see.
Yeah. We've got a city to wake the fuck up. We got a city to burn.
It's all because someone kicked his dog.
Someone kicked.
No. Who would they call? Yeah. So you guys blew up because he killed a dog. He killed John Wick's dog.
Oh shit.
I was so mad they did not do that in the third one. That was my favorite joke in the first two movies.
Yes.
Well, whose car was it? John Wick's. Oh. That's
shit.
all you needed to know.
Can't we just give it back? Yeah. Blind Artist says the panels are looking good. Thank you. Our artists are working very hard on them, and it shows. And they are kicking ass.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, in terms of mythics, next week we should have some character concept art and some page layouts done.
Excellent, because
you're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, okay.
My bad.
I was just gonna say that Bethy is now able to work solely on mythics until the completion of the book, right?
Yep.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw in the stuff that has been coming out of Mythics regarding the art recently has been phenomenal. Like, oh man, especially the colors. Oh my god.
We told you she was awesome.
That one. Yeah, the one that you've got as your profile picture right now, Matt. That's just beautiful to look at.
It is, and I can't wait for the rest of the series because I know she's gonna blow all of your minds.
Well, if you look at Bethy's art, every time she lays pen to paper, she gets better. Like, compare all these new layouts and completed pages to the pitch she turned in last year alone, and wow, it's just an incredible progression.
I'm just gonna say I can see her in about 5 years asking me if she could redraw these comics.
Release Mythics Remastered. Yeah,
Wow.
I bet Bethy's the kind of person who
She's
thinks.
never satisfied, is she?
I think she's the kind of person who regards anything that she draws today as merely passable, anything she drew last week as cringy, and anything she drew last month as garbage.
More than likely.
Okay, so I have a drawing that I made last year that I drew. I'm gonna post it in the general chat. I drew it last year and then I remade it just the other day. I'll post it. Oh, hold on. There's background noise. I have my. Hey, no. I'm on a podcast. I'll be right there.
Cool. So what's this a drawing of? I see it's
Kitty
That's from Tough
Catswell from Tough Puppy.
nice.
that Nickelodeon. Okay, and so I remade it. So I tried to keep background noise out, but people tend to barge in my room.
That's fine.
I can though see, yeah, because like with the original, it looks like you were trying to emulate the style of the show, and the updated one is definitely more you.
With abs.
Yeah, there's definitely abs there. Is it all right if I share this in the stream?
Oh yeah, go right ahead, man.
All right, cool.
Dude, this is a year's difference.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah.
was that really what you were, Dylan? Was that what you were going for with the original?
Yeah,
You were
just to
trying to
emulate the
emulate-
style, and that was before I really tried to focus on getting proportions right.
Yeah. And kind of more like find your niche.
Right, and early or late last year, I did like a Batman Dark Prince Charming fan art.
Hmm.
That's the one from last year.
Yep.
Okay.
And the other one's coming up right now.
with updated proportions and stuff.
All right, so there's a difference that a year makes there in these two drawings.
The reason why his abs look like that, they're artificial. That's what his costume looks like.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can kind of see it, like, I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head. I guess I'll say Greg Land off the top of my head, because, for when he first started out, his line work was kind of rough. Had a lot of energy behind it, though. And then he started getting more into lightboxing and using photo reference, having a more photorealistic style. And, you kind of saw... Some people say that his imagery got a little bit too static. I think it, like what the stuff he did for that fantasy comic in cross-gen Sojourn, that was the name of it. Yeah, I think that worked out pretty well, because, like, it was very detailed and very lush and very impactful. I mean,
right. Let's see.
It was a lot more refined compared to his early stuff. Even if he might have over relied on photo referencing.
Right. Okay. My dog's making coughing noises.
Okay, I just put up the Batman fan art, so we can have a look at it.
Turn off my art.
Yeah, just mute your mic.
Hey, I'm gonna go real quick.
No
All
problem.
right, then. That's fine, man.
Later.
Alrighty. But yeah, I honestly think that Beth is gonna ask in 5 years to redo Mythics.
He might be being facetious because Beth is a perfectionist, I think, but
Yeah. I don't think she's going to.
all right. So, very, very cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get tonight's game spun up real quick. I'm gonna try to play a little bit of Orcs Must Die, which is one of my favorites. I haven't played it in a while, but it's definitely an evergreen for me. So let me go ahead and get that spun up here.
I definitely think that with Invictor's Kiss, like I said, like when he and I had a back and forth, and we just found ways that we could improve a page. It's like kind of something that's kind of been it's been a bit of a learning experience for him, is that I've used a lot of like film techniques. Like I'll say bird's eye view, worm's eye view, and he didn't exactly know what that was, so he's ended up looking that stuff up, and I think actually kind of one of my favorite panels is from the last page he turned in. What was it? It was hold up, I'm gonna pull it up. No, that's 17, 16. Yep, that was it. Yeah, and actually, yeah, that Fomorian, he's got his head actually pops out of the panel a little. That's actually cool. I love it sometimes when character models just kind of pop out of the panel boundaries. Kind of makes him stand out better. Like
Okay, so before I get started with the game, is everyone familiar with the game?
Nope.
Okay, are you familiar with
Nope.
tower defense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone knows Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay. Well, this game is an amalgamation of tower defense and third-person shooter. Okay. The conceit of the game is that there's a horde of orcs on a parallel world, and they are coming to our world through portals. So, elite order of battle mages went into the orc world through the portals and built castles around the portals and turned the castles into death traps to try to channel the orc invasion through the traps and kill them before they could make it through the portal. So what you're seeing on the screen there is that the last of the two battle mages that have survived the war are the greatest battle mage and his inept dude bro apprentice. And the wizard has died, and the only battle mage left is this dude bro apprentice who thinks it's all a blast and doesn't really understand how dangerous the situation is. So here you are in the castle, and you have to defend this portal here.
So what you're saying is this is essentially the story of Trump's border wall.
This is Trump's border wall, yes. Okay, you have to stop the horde of orcs from coming through this door. As you can see, they're trying to break through it right now. And you can see these little blue lines. They tell you what path the orcs are going to take to the portal. So all you have is your trusty crossbow to begin with. And let me see. And your spell book. And as a battle mage, you can create traps. So what I'm going to try to do is equip my traps. Alright, so I have the ability to set spiky traps. So I'll do that first.
Man, at least it gives you some time to prep.
Yeah, on the beginner mode, you have time to prep. In nightmare mode, you do not. You literally have like 10 seconds. Okay, so now I can unleash the horde, and here they come. So they're going to break down the door and walk blithely straight ahead no matter what trap is in their way. They don't give a crap. They just march straight forward into death. So I Yeah, there's a lot of Daka in this game. I have 2 elven archers here that are helping me shoot the orcs down. This first wave is just light orcs, so they die pretty quickly. And as you kill them, like in any tower defense game, you get more resources so that you can put up more traps. Alright, so this level's very straightforward, but it gets worse as the game goes on, obviously. So I'm going to put down some tar traps here. That'll slow them down.
This basically is the tutorial level.
Yeah, this is the tutorial level. It's very easy. It gets ridiculous later on. And orcs must die 2 up the ante to 2-player co-op. And there are some levels there that are utterly impossible if you don't have help.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So right now I'm just facing the basic grunts, but you do have to face like trolls that regenerate, ice giants, and all those kind of things. It gets worse.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah. Hey,
Hi, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah, like, you know, I live with family. Someone brought home ice cream. I'm like, okay, I have to go wow.
you gotta get the ice cream, man.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, my nephew barges in my room. Dylan, ice cream. And I'm like, okay, go. Like, I try to keep out background noises. And now my brother's friend, you know, he is here. And now he knows I'm on a podcast. He's gonna probably barge in and say, Dylan likes balls.
Well, that's his job, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
But the more
That's
important
what
question is what he's going to say true?
No. Jesus Christ.
I think from his drawings, it's not.
No. If anything, he's an apophile. All right.
Or he'll say something like, Morty, you like my balls?
My balls are tasty, Morty. My balls are all salty and yummy, Morty. You're gonna love them, Morty.
Oh, gee, I don't know, Rick. I haven't tried them.
Shut up, Morty. You're an idiot. You don't know anything, Morty.
Rick,
People pretend our show is really deep, but it's really not.
We're all just a bunch of nihilists here, Morty.
And pop culture references.
It's not that deep, Morty.
And we talk so fast, Morty, that no one has a chance to understand what we're saying, Morty. Hey.
Also, we don't write scripts. Right, we just improvise everything on the fly.
You got to end every sentence with Morty, though.
To be fair, they at least write the skeleton of a plot and just improvise the dialogue.
Yeah.
Well, what I will give them credit for too is you can't deny the what is it called, the Roland circle.
Yeah, Justin Roiland.
Yeah, the Roiland character circle. That thing is a very useful writing tool. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, no, actually, it's not Justin Roiland. It's Dan Harmon's thing. But yeah, it's
the Harmon circle. My bad.
I think I mean, it basically follows the model of the hero's journey, but it's effective.
Well, it's the hero's journey model, but what he did was he made it so that you can apply it to each and every character in your story. That way, that you can kind of be organic with laying everything out.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, I really recommend people check it out, if especially if you're a creator, just to try something new, if nothing else. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack everything.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just getting ready for the next level.
That's fine.
It's all right.
In this level,
I guess I might be the only Rick and Morty fan here, so I felt the need to defend it.
I think you're fast becoming the last Rick and Morty fan left, Salem.
Oh man. No, I'll admit it. The quality has gone down, and the fan base is annoying. I am not going to dispute that.
I'm so glad I missed the whole McDonald's incident.
I will admit, though, it made me want some shawarma sauce.
Fucking yeah, actually, Matt, did anyone come at your McDonald's demanding McNuggets with Szechuan sauce?
No, we were closed during that time. Thank God. We were remodeling at the time, so when everything happened, all the other stores around got it.
Honestly, you dodged a bullet.
Yep.
Now, would you like to hear a little bit of trivia about my Szechuan sauce incident? Because okay, you know how I was living in the UP in Michigan, right?
Yep.
Well, here's the thing: if you're at McDonald's in UP in Michigan, guess how much business you're getting?
Like what?
Not
Only 5 people show up in a day?
Yeah. So, guess what? My local McDonald's got quite a bit of Szechuan sauce and no one to give it to. So, I'm not saying I am, but I'm just saying there are certain people that I know that are sitting on quite a big stockpile of Szechuan sauce.
Heather says her nephew was working at McDonald's at the time and hoarded this stuff and resold on eBay and made $500 off it.
holy
Yeah,
cow.
that's what I was just about to say. That's what I was just about to say. If you're looking at the prices that you can find the sauce at right now, there's going to be some rich people in the UP. Just keep an eye out.
And Gorgonite says Invader Zim better than a pile of shit, better than slam poetry, better than Rick and Morty.
That's a fair hierarchy, I think.
Dude, Invader Zim is god tier. That's not even.
Yes.
You can't even compare it to any of those things.
There's like nothing like that anymore. It's that name of the comic, but
does anyone know if Jonan Vasquez has a new show or something? I think I remember reading something about that.
he has a new Invader Zim comic, or at least the movie, the Invader Zim movie, is based off the comic.
Huh, that's cool. Actually, no, who else has got a new show? Maxwell Adams.
Oh right, Dead Meat, right?
That guy made that guy made Billy and Mandy.
I freaking love Billy and Mandy. That's like, oh my god! Back when I used to be on Tumblr, I had an entire Tumblr blog dedicated to following the adult lives of Billy and Mandy, and it was all my fan art. And there was like a plot line and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the show that Maxwell Adams is working on right now is called Bunnicula.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're doing a show based. They did a show based on it. The books.
Yeah,
oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah, I actually just I just learned about this when I saw clips of the show on YouTube, and it's one of those things where like, okay, this is cute, this is funny, but then once I figured out what the show's gimmick was, it's like, okay, I'm not really sure this is for me. Because the whole gimmick of the show, I don't know about the books, but the gimmick of the show is that Bunnicula sucks the juice out of some vegetable and either turns into something or gains some kind of weird power. And the dog and cat do their best to try and contain the damage while their owner is completely oblivious to it all.
That's about the plot of the book, yeah.
Also, the bunny is voiced by Chris Kattan. But he says like only a few words at most. Like he doesn't get a lot of lines. He's not like, and he doesn't talk in his normal voice either. He's talking like this. I don't know.
It sounds like Poe from Magaga Morscar's channel.
Yep.
Oh, does anyone know who I'm talking about?
I do.
I do.
Oh, okay. Did you see his video today?
Not yet.
That's the best of Poe you're ever gonna see. I hate her. No, Cortez, you broke my Poe. I hate her. You broke him.
The cat Manicula, he's voiced by Sean Astin. Sean Astin is getting a lot of work in animation these days.
Oh, the dude from who was in the Goonies, right?
And Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And Lord of the Rings, and he played Bob on Stranger Things. I know that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting for season 3 of Stranger Things. It'll be here on June 4th. I'm excited.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, like the Banicula cartoon looks okay. It's just like I said, once I figured out what the gimmick was, it just lost all appeal for me.
Right. You know, I think my favorite episodes of like Billy and Mandy are definitely like the older episodes. I like all the episodes, but like the older ones, like Who Killed Who, that's my favorite one.
I like the episode where they referenced the God Emperor of Dune.
Right.
That one was fun.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was it was all basically one whole Dune parody.
Right.
Oh shit! Now they got crossbowers.
Okay. If you hear coughing, that's my dog. He has a partially collapsed trachea.
Oh man,
poor guy. How'd that happen?
And I don't know. Probably because he's fat, and we're trying to get him on a diet.
Oh, he's not old, is he?
Yeah, he's old. We've had him for about 10 years. He's a Chihuahua. Oh, and if you hear like faint gun sound shots in the background, my brother's friend is playing his PS4 in the living room.
I would have figured it's just people shooting guns. I mean, it is Texas, right?
Huh? Do what?
I would have figured it's just people shooting guns.
No. No, it's just Days Gone. So you better not start barking.
We'll definitely say this. Orcs Must Die looks like it has some inspired level design.
It really is a lot of fun, and it's very cheap. At least it was when I got it, because I got it on a Steam sale. But it's an older game, so most machines can run it, and it's not too expensive.
I'm gonna go post those drawings I made on Newgrounds. I have it pulled up here.
I don't think we can show. I don't think we can show that.
Oh no, I'm not gonna show it now. I'm just saying. So I'm not going anywhere.
Gorgonet says favorite episodes. My favorite episode of Invader Zim is Dark Harvest for how fucked up it is.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was.
It's one of those deals where when you stop and think about it, it's just super disturbing, right?
I think Gaz is my favorite character.
Oh yeah, and I mean the things that they got away with in that show, holy crap! People could only dream about getting away with today.
Wait a minute. Was Dark Harvest the one where Zim kept taking organs from people?
Yep.
Oh my god, you don't even need to stop
what
and
I got,
think about that.
Do what I got kicked out. What were you saying?
I just thought for a second Dark Harvest was was like one of those episodes where it doesn't seem fucked up until you stop and think about it.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, like when the whole episode is Zim taking organs from people, it's like, do you really need to think about it?
Yeah, but
have
like
you seen the intelligence of most people today?
No, I'm just saying it's like you don't really need to think about it for it to realize it's fucked up. It's just fucked up on. It's actually pretty in your face about it.
yeah, like Gaz is probably my favorite character. I'm trying to draw a little piggy. Can't you see I'm trying? Okay, so
Yeah.
I used to. I mean, I have like these old sketchbooks that I have where it's like full of like fan comics and stuff I did.
Mhm.
Like 3 of them were like full of like Naruto fan comics, and these were back in like 2011. Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna post a drawing I did in 2012. Holy crap!
Mhm.
It's a Billy and Mandy. It's my first digital drawing. I made it in that DeviantArt Miro thing.
I can. This definitely looks like it's somebody's first attempt with digital. No offense.
Then about a couple months back, I actually redrew it. Oh, hold on. It's not downloading. Okay. Stupid tablet.
I'm just waiting for him to go, yo quiero Taco Bell.
I think.
There you go.
Still, though, I think when it came to fucked up cartoons, nothing really could beat out Ren and Stimpy.
Oh my god.
I was just about to guess that.
Call the police.
Oh god.
And yeah, that
Space
is
madness
definitely
was sheer madness, to say the least.
It was.
My
There was
beloved
like a-
ice cream bar. How long to lick your creamy center?
Oh no!
Yeah.
How do
there
we
was
post
one,
that?
and there was one with the
My-
fan club, and Ren just kept it. He actually started thinking about whether or not he wanted to kill Stimpy because he was because he was getting more fan mail than him.
Gorgonite
He's like-
says, anyone remember the episode where Mandy smiles and all of reality just ceases to happen?
Yeah.
Yes,
Somewhere over the
It's kind of
rainbow.
depressing now. It's kind of depressing now that you think about it.
Yeah.
But it is kind of sweet that all reality is based on the the happiness of a child.
Even though Mandy did smile in like the end of the first episode of Billy and Mandy, and that she
Yeah,
did
but it was-
smile early on. Like
It was kind of a very but it was like very sinister.
true, very true.
I'm sorry, but maybe I'm a little biased here, but my favorite episode of Billy and Mandy is always going to be the one where we have Voltaire doing the song work.
Brains, yes,
Yeah, I remember that one.
yes.
In the land of the dead.
Oh no,
That was from the first
that,
movie.
That was the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgonite says it was a smug smirk, not a smile.
True.
It still looked sinister.
True. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very biased. It's my favorite's definitely Who Killed Who. Who killed who? I killed Mandy in the hallway.
There was Rocco was also kind of weird. Was also kind of fucked up, but it was a little bit
my
more
God.
restrained.
How
Oh
restraining?
god, yeah. The one where he's the guitar.
I'm more thinking about the one where I think it was Rock. It was either Rocco or Heifer. One of them was going to the dentist, and their tooth just basically grew into a kaiju and went on a rampage.
Oh,
I remember that one.
I forgot that one.
Yeah. Heather says her kid is upset and needs her, and so she's got to leave.
Oh, thanks for coming, Heather.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Gorgon Idol says Rocco was very raunchy.
Yeah, that was it. It really was. Also, one of the only cartoon show that I watched as a kid that actually had the word hell in it.
What, Rocco?
Yeah, The Ride to Hell.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, and they mocked the outrage in a later episode when I think it was Heather was sent to hell and was called Heck. He asks Steph, "Hey, isn't it called?" And Steph just tells him, "Nope, it's always been Heck."
Actually, who does anyone remember this? It was like I think early into Tiny Toons run. There was that one episode where the boys tried beer
Oh
and then
yes.
they ride. I think that episode ended up getting pulled from broadcast or never
Yeah.
aired, or was it? Okay, what was the deal? Did that become a lost episode?
No, I think it can be found.
Well, yeah, you can find it on YouTube now. Now, but it's like, so like, what did they try airing that and then the network censors got cold feet and pulled it, or did it just never air at all?
I think it did air it. I'm thinking, maybe. I'm not quite sure.
Now talk about being ballsy, like having a cartoon that depicts the little boys trying to get into a car crash.
Right.
man,
Man,
I don't think that could go over well today.
I remember back in the day, I used to listen to all sorts of like lost episode creepypastas and all that.
Gorgonite says there was a Tom and Jerry episode that originally had a minstrel in it.
What?
What?
Well, it was the 40s.
Yeah, that was when you could have Bugs Bunny shoot somebody with a revolver. Just because he was making too much noise during his piano performance.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite clips.
I mean, it's so weird. There's like stuff you can't get away with now, but there's stuff you can get away with that you couldn't before. It's like really weird.
Here, let's play a game. Name something that you could get away with in the 90s that you couldn't get away with today.
Like I said, you can't get you.
Lemonade stand.
What were you gonna say? The lemonade stand?
Yep.
What, you mean the Man Show?
No, lemonade stand.
Oh. Yeah, well,
He's,
there was that whole thing
he-
about fingering Prince.
Saying that.
Oh yes. But nowadays But nowadays apparently you can get away with including same-sex couples on a kid's show.
Oh, Arthur?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. What about, oh, shoot. Oh, man, I just forgot it. My bad. Oh, I bet you couldn't even get away with Hello Nurse today.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
no.
that would be harassment.
This is
Even though that's literally her name.
Yeah, her name is Nurse. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my god! Like literally anything in like Rocco's Modern Life, you probably couldn't. Or
Ren and Stimpy definitely would not get made today.
oh my god, no. They I've seen, I've watched, of course, I've watched Batman the Animated Series. They had an episode where it's like basically like a drug PSA. Well, not really a PSA, but it was like the topic was about like drugs and stuff. You could not like do that nowadays.
Oh hell no.
Well, because it was Batman dealing with this like a drug dealer guy.
Actually, no. Actually, I think I know what you're talking about. I think it was more about steroids.
Or no, it was something like, and he was dealing with this drug dealer guy, this like rich drug dealer guy, and it turns out his son turned out to be on drugs, and it was like this really like, there was even a priest. You can't have a priest on a modern.
Oh god.
No, not unless you're trying to say a Catholic Church bad.
Like they say things like oh my god, you don't hear that anymore.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's weird. Like you can't get away with that, but no, but everyone is. But I put on a. But all of a sudden make two characters gay, and apparently you're bold and progressive for it.
Yeah, Steven Universe literally had an episode where like Pearl and Garnet like fused, and it was like this weird allegory for like rape, and like because she was like, and like they made it out to be this weird allegory. It's like, what? Just
very clumsy allegory. Like, oh my god, like Steven Universe should be held up as an example of how not to do allegory. Like it has some of the worst application of allegory I've ever seen. Like, for one, like they say like fusing is supposed to be a metaphor for relationships and stuff, but yeah, well, first of all, one of the fusions is between Steven and Connie, both of whom who are, well, they're pretty young kids.
And Steven has fused with like the other gyms too.
Yeah, he has fused with he's
fused with Amethyst. He's I stopped watching the show after I realized it's not going.
But that's an example of where it gets really disturbing when you stop and think about it.
Yeah, leave the kids alone, man. Really.
It's almost saying, and I'm not entirely sure because I'm just going off what you guys are saying, but it's almost as if it's trying to get the point across that it's okay to throw your body around.
Oh, and the thing that Amethyst did to Steven's dad, Greg, like shape-shifting into his dead wife because he wouldn't finish watching a
wife.
sitcom?
They weren't even married,
or whatever, shape-shift into Steven's mother, to torture him just because he wouldn't finish watching a sitcom with her, and then like her making up to him was, oh, she cleaned out the garage. Like, no, like you, like the. Like I watched this channel called Just a Robot. He brings up stuff like this, where he talks about how terrible like the female characters are in the Cal Arts, type shows.
Yeah.
Just oh my god.
All I can say is you want to watch the Mythoverse. We'll show you how you do it right. Oh, here's something Gorgonite says. You also can't have really very stupid villainous women who are also punching bags. See Eris from Billy and Mandy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you can mow down scores of men all day, but if one woman gets slapped, that's taboo.
You can't have a woman with Eris's design. Like
Well,
I am pretty sure like
I think Eris
Twitter.
was modeled after Madonna.
I am
Wow.
I am pretty sure that just Tumblr and Twitter would like explode. Like if there's a like, oh no, she has an ankle showing.
Well,
Or
to be fair,
she's got a gap in her teeth.
well, to be
Right.
fair, it's based off
Um,
of Madonna. I don't think anyone really wants to see that anymore.
Ugh,
No.
hell no. Like you seen
just an
her neck
just
is
an
a
just an observation here, but isn't it funny that everyone here just came here out of wanting to pursue just original content essentially, and not only is the artist lineup pretty diverse, but so is the creations that you guys are making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
It's almost as if, you know, when it comes naturally, the quality is going to be better.
Yeah. The idea for my character is that she's Egyptian.
Nice.
You know, she's she's a vessel for the evil Egyptian deity Apophis. I'm still trying to iron out some details, so it could really fit into the Mythoverse.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah, well the beauty of us being at phase 1 currently is you got a lot of time.
Yep, our books will be out in September, so, and that's just round 1.
Just too bad I couldn't fund the Kickstarter because I really wanted to get that book.
Yeah,
Well, it'll be available on the Wicked store, so no worries.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely have to get it.
Yeah. Speaking of Wicked, I mean, like, one thing I'm hoping that we're able to do more with the magazine is that we're able to get more on the ground convention coverage.
Yeah, I think that's the long-term goal.
Yeah.
I talked a lot about that to oh my god, my mind is blanking.
Matt and Michael.
Yeah, that was my biggest suggestion. It's just, you know, I would love to cover that stuff because that's kind of what I was kind of asked to do, was do news stories, and it's like, okay, but I can only cover what I'm able to get to, if even that, because
Right.
you know, sometimes these conventions aren't cheap, sometimes they are. It's
Actually, earlier you said you weren't aware of any of the upcoming ones in your area. Did you check since then, Salem?
kind of. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff going on today. My mom just got out of surgery, and
Oh shit!
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope the recovery goes well, man.
Oh yeah, it seems to be going well. And then also I just booked my trip back to the UP, so I can go do some research for something I'm going to be working on.
Mm-hmm.
I will look it up and I'll see what I can do. I can't promise much because my biggest problem right now is I just don't have a job right now. So can't really go do too much until I've got money to do it.
Yeah, you got to make that your priority. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. Neither's Wicked.
Yeah.
We're in it for the long term.
Yeah. Definitely.
This is the problem when you get right out of college, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you recently relocated over to Illinois, right, Salem?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, the big con out in Illinois, that's C2E2, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, the big conventions are C2E2 and ASEN.
They've also got this. They've got this big anime con in Detroit, but I can't remember what the name of it is.
Yomacon.
And maybe I would go to that one just so I've got an excuse to go back to Detroit because I love going to Detroit.
Gorgonite says, remember that one Ren and Stimpy episode where some famous Scottish comedian lost everything because Ren and Stimpy got big and contemplated suicide?
I did not. Wow, that actually happened. Damn.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, out in Washington, the big con is Emerald City Comic Con, which is up in Seattle.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Isn't that the one that we were hearing all the drama come out of?
Somehow I'm not. If Seattle's involved, I'm not surprised. I think I remember hearing one story about how they banned men from the mixers at ECC.
What a way to make your guests feel welcome.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I've always imagined the West Coast as that kid that's in the back seat, and no matter what you do, they're not happy. Like, you know, like I said I wanted apple juice. I just gave you apple juice. I want apple juice now. When you give them the apple juice, and then when you give them the apple juice, I want
this gender to have
yogurt.
a bathroom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that the hipsters are not even the worst thing about the Pacific Northwest.
What's the worst thing then?
That would be Brett.
Fuck you, Dan.
Come on, you left it wide open.
You live in Florida.
Dan, that was good.
No, Florida is absolutely the worst. I agree.
Your state is a meme.
Of course it is.
Dude, I would rather live in a meme than Illinois.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather live in somewhere like Illinois than like California right now.
Now that's the true question. California or Illinois? Ooh.
All I'll just say is not even Brian wants to live in California.
Well, let me put it this way. You have medieval diseases going on in California.
Yeah, but that's just if you're not vaccinated.
And in the cities.
Also, in San Francisco, you have a greater chance of stepping in someone's shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, my older brother got back from San Francisco, and he was actually confounded at how accurate those stories were. It literally is.
See, guys, Godzilla did us a favor when he pummeled San Francisco.
I agree.
Did you see the San Francisco poop map?
God, I know that's a thing, of course.
Like it's a map of like all the reportings of like poop from like the past like few years, and literally the whole state, or like the whole
city.
Not state, city, the whole city was just like it was everywhere.
It's sad because San Francisco used to be something.
Yeah, it was a beautiful. They wrote songs about it, for crying out loud.
Well,
and then they turned it into a shithole.
To be fair, your parents' generation romanticized San Francisco.
They romanticized a lot of stuff. If only they romanticized taking care of their kids' future. That'd be nice.
Or not stealing their.
Pope is more progressive than you are, you bigot.
or not stealing their grandkids' future.
Now, this is something that I got to ask, and I'm legitimately curious because, honestly, I think that the millennial generation is like the most entitled and selfish that I've come across.
No, I'm pretty. No, look, millennials. Okay, sure, they got problems, but millennials, they're like a badly trained dog. They're a product of their environment. Like,
I think it's because they're the last generation the boomers raised.
The thing is with like when you've been taught for 12 plus years, go to college, get a degree, it's the only way you'll make it in life, and you've never been taught different, and then you get out and you find out, oh wait, not only are there any jobs, you got a bunch of old people who are cashing in social security checks to go to vacations to Jamaica.
Right.
Can you honestly blame them for being kind of pissed off?
Right, you know
man.
The whole reason why like the younger like millennial generation tends to like aim towards like socialism, blah, 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 because you know they got a shitty major, they're in debt, they're like, oh, I don't want to have to pay for anything.
Just like the first person who's gonna promise student loan forgiveness is gonna win them over, no question, because like, look, I mean. you can disagree with Andrew Yang all you want, but he's right when he says that that student debt is a noose around their neck because they can't start their lives while they're shackled to it.
Oh, it absolutely is, especially if you pursue a degree that has no productive use or value.
Yeah,
which a lot of them
when
did.
You've got all this debt. You can't start a. You can't. I mean, forget looking for a job. You can't even start a business.
You can't start a business. You can't buy a home. You can't do anything.
Yeah, there's. Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing but sympathy for the younger folks who were sold that line of garbage about, everyone has to get a 4-year degree, and I'm glad there are people like Mike Rowe who are attempting to shift the narrative to, go to trade school. My son wants to be an electrician. He doesn't want to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely more democratic when it comes to voting and stuff, but it just feels like these candidates, they all just kind of blend together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's no real coherent message right now.
I'll just say for perspective, my dad is a boomer, and here's how he describes here are words he's used to describe his generation: selfish and materialistic.
Yeah, they were the first generation that really rejected, religion as a whole, but they didn't replace it with anything. They didn't replace it with anything but nihilism and materialism.
And millennials have replaced theirs with socialism. Or social justice.
I was going to say social media, but also yes.
Okay, just imagine.
I can't. Here's a little preview of something that's coming up. Because I just recently have acquired a rifle as congratulations for finally graduating, and I've got a lot of tannerite, and I've got a camcorder, and I've got my Cultivating Social Justice Teachers book. So if I bring my camcorder with me when I'm feeling pretty patriotic and feeling like letting off a really big firework, I'll share it with you guys.
That's awesome.
And have I shown you that picture of that book, guys?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh my God! Here, 1 second. So this was because I wanted to be a teacher until I came across the books that were being shown to us as to how here's the thing. I'm very, very skeptical of the education system after going through education courses.
Well, for one, did they teach you that our education system is based off a Prussian military academy system that's been widely criticized for teaching blind obedience to authority instead of independent thought?
Well, it's designed to create factory workers.
Here, guys, I'm going to put it in the Wicked chat and the DM.
Yeah,
here, should I put it in Discord?
Yeah, go ahead. Put it.
Where do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Just general?
You can put it in general, and we'll delete it later if you want.
Okay, here. So this is the book this was like my main textbook for my education course. And the education course was called, I'm not going to say because I don't want you guys to find out any information on me, but just get a load of this.
Wait, where are you posting it?
Wait for it.
There it is.
Cultivating Social Justice Teachers.
Oh boy.
Read that.
How teacher educators have helped students overcome cognitive bottlenecks and learn critical social justice concepts. Oh my God, this just convince me this isn't like a supplement to Rules for Radicals.
Here, let me
This is what you're going into debt for, kids.
This is the book that they were pushing towards teachers.
This is like cancer, or herpes in a book.
Cancer and AIDS.
Here,
Cancer, AIDS in the book.
Here, But here, let me ask you something, guys. I can't. Can you see what that thing is? That see how there's a label on the bottle?
Yeah, I can't really make it out. I can see it's an
Alright,
ingredient
here, let me-
label.
let
I
me-
can't. Read.
Intersectionality, racism, heteronormativity, essentialism.
Holy shit! I almost lost that level.
White
Intersectionality,
privilege,
racism,
privilege,
heteronormativity,
classism.
essentialism, deficit thinking, white privilege, Christian privilege, classism, xenophobia, homophobia, multiple literacies, meritocracy.
I think I had gone stupid after reading that.
That book cover.
Can you see? Can you see why this is why I want to blow this book up?
That book deserves to be blown up, man.
That book cover gave me herpes.
That book is evil.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Gave me cancer AIDS.
I would.
Cancer AIDS.
You know, I'd rather have a copy. I consider myself a pretty devout Christian man, and I would much rather prefer a copy of the Satanic Bible to this.
Here, you can borrow mine.
You know, from what I heard, the Satanic Bible really isn't necessarily
no, it's the satanic. The Satanic Bible has got nothing to do with Satan. It literally.
Yeah.
From what I hear, like a lot of the thing with the churches of Satan just sounds more like a giant troll.
It is. It's. I tell you what. I tell you what. If you're just looking for a good time, I suggest you follow them on Twitter. They're just a bunch of. It just seems like a guy on Twitter having a good time and trolling everybody. I don't care what your beliefs are. I highly recommend you follow that account. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter anymore because I think I've told this story about how this guy was blaming me for Peter Samedi getting swatted.
Oh God, yeah.
Here, let me just. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna text you something, Dylan, and just tell me if this sounds accurate.
Here, I'll bring up one more thing, then I'll let you guys take the conversation back over. But let me just read you the title. Let me just read you the title of a few chapters in this book. Are you ready?
Oh boy.
All right. So here's one of the titles of the chapters. You're going to hell when critical multicultural queer affirmation meets Christian homophobia.
Oh my lord.
That's the title of a chapter. And remember, everyone, this is what's being taught to people going to college to become teachers.
This is
Teaching and learning about immigration as a humanitarian issue.
This is why you have professors of ethics who hit people over the head with bike locks.
Yep. Yeah. From literacy to literacies. Oh God! And there is a part in this book where it says like you shouldn't take points away if like someone is putting the word y'all in their text, like if they're like handing a paper and y'all is there, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry, that can be your spoken like dialect, but if you're handing in like a science paper and I've got the word y'all on it, I'm gonna take points away.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Anyways,
it's almost like they're deliberately trying to breed stupid people.
All right, teaching about Christian privilege in the teacher education classroom. Socioeconomic class and school opportunity activity handout.
Do you see what the trap is about the word privilege, though? You can't prove it and you can't disprove it.
Yeah,
teaching against essentialism and
no,
of poverty.
Not true. There is a kind of privilege you can prove, but it's the one they never want to talk about.
I mean, there's go ahead.
Money privilege.
Yeah, money privilege.
Well, yeah, I mean, people have known that since the dawn of time.
Yeah, if you got money, then yeah, you've got privilege. So yeah, about the only way you're privileged is if you're rich.
Oh boy, I guess Oprah is oppressed.
Gorgonite says, I'm not even religious and I feel the need to hold onto a cross for dear life and ready the holy water. Yeah.
Yeah. just for the record, and it's gonna be amazing that Maeve actually comes out of a public school system with any sense any sense at all. Though to be fair, she does have one teacher that's cool.
Can't wait to meet that teacher.
Oh.
Although you could also say like she's had a little bit more real world experience than the average 14-year-old.
Yeah, just a little.
Hey, guys, I've got one last thing in this book. Can you guess what one of the chapters is nothing but? Cringy SJW Tumblr comics.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they came from Tumblr, but they're like that.
We're paying
they
thousands of dollars to teach people, and this is the content?
Oh my god. Do I even need to
Here,
go
you want me to...
how much of a racket the textbook industry has?
God, when I went to college, I think I had to pay $180 for a tech book. And this was like quite a while ago.
Like what, the 80s?
No, the 70s. Dude, I'm much older than that.
My dad what? Oh, dude, my dad went to college in the 80s.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my dad is old. Yeah, my dad is older than you, Dan.
By a fair amount, yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
Gen X, or you would have gotten in the late 90s, right?
Yeah, I went to college in the mid to late 90s, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that I think I paid, oh my god, I think I must have paid like over $1,000 for my textbooks back when I went to college, and that was like 2009.
It's like when you go to see a movie and the concessions are where they make most of their money. And they're just...
Oh god, when I went to Godzilla King of the Monsters, I paid like $6 for a medium soda.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, the reason I don't go to the movies very often is I have to take my wife and 3 kids and myself. We end up spending like $90.
$100.
Freaking ridiculous, man, to see a movie. Because everyone wants their own popcorn and their own snacks, and
that's why I get the big tub and that shirt with everybody.
Yeah.
Man, you guys got
here's the way you really do it. What you do is you bring 2 brown paper bags. You go sit down in the theater before the movie begins, and you dump all the popcorn in the big tub into those 2 brown paper bags, and then you go back and eat your free refill with the big tub of popcorn.
Yeah, we actually took to going to the dollar store to get our sugary snacks, and just
that's what my family
casually
did.
walking them into the theater. But I always buy the popcorn, so it balances out. Just if you want something besides popcorn in the large Coke deal,
it's not like the employees pat you down.
No, they don't. But they do make you empty your purse now.
Not yet.
Oh, last thing, and then I'll shut up for a good long while. But I just had an idea. Can you guys tell me what you think? Maybe we'll do this somewhere else, but what if I am able to send you all the comic that's in this book, which is the length of a chapter in this book, and we all maybe one day come on a stream wherever that is, and we all have some drinks and read it.
Maybe.
Nice.
Definitely sounds fun.
So basically, the MST3K for comics.
Sure. Yeah, why not? That'd be a blast. I would absolutely love that.
I'll see. We should do a shot game where we take shots for like certain criteria, like a straw man or whatever.
Well, let me just read you the very first bubble. At a teacher conference, and then it says, "Our students are smart." Bordeaux. Bordeaux would say they have successfully shaped their habits to align with the structures, practices, expectations of educational institutions. He calls the unspoken, unrecognized norms nomos. Nomos.
Yeah, Gotcha.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Is it over? I unplugged my headset for that.
Students who may not fit into the nomos of universities might work extra hard to pass as the students they think we want.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're definitely gonna
Okay,
have to do shots
I'm
or
not going to go any
something
further.
Like
Yeah, I heard everything.
I'll
Okay.
see if I can. I'll see if I can scan it, and if I can't, then I'll just take pictures, and then I'll send them to you guys, and we'll just work something out later on, and we'll have something where we just read this thing.
dude, we're gonna do shots.
I think we will need to be.
Who
drunk
just
to
said
make
that,
it through
Dan?
that. No, that was not me. But I do
That was
concur that we will need to be drunk to make it through this. I think.
I'm so
I
down.
still get about four. I still get about 4 bottles of beer I bought.
I've got
Dude, beer's not going to be enough.
I've got a skull of Crystal Head vodka still that I haven't opened.
You got it.
Yeah, I mean,
got it.
Yeah.
Did you get it from the only one in South America?
Nah, I just went to the Publix liquor store. They usually carry it.
I've got a thing.
That was the best way to end the video. Is it true? Do you have it?
I do.
Sí, es delicioso.
I've got a thing of a fireball I can get.
Jameson, where are you, my friend?
I could probably use another bottle of proper 12.
Hey, when the books get made, I'll ship you all a bottle of your favorite vodka. How's that sound, or whatever it is you drink?
Nice.
And then,
No, I just want my hoodie.
Oh yes, that was part of the announcements. Next week we are ordering all the hoodies, and my wife will be cracking down on them starting next week. She's out of town now, but she's got the office set up with her Cricut and her sewing machine, and she's all set to go. She's got all the designs all ready. So hopefully we'll get through these pretty quick. She's really excited to get them done. And every time one gets finished, I will post a picture of it.
We know someone else in the Discord besides Salem is jonesing for it.
Yeah, I know Duskquill is getting one, Vamp's getting one, and I'm only remembering them specifically because they did not back at the level that includes a hoodie, but they still wanted one, and they paid enough for one. So
Make sure you show her the meme that I made.
I will.
Where's the hoodie, Lebowski?
I think it's down there. Let me have another look.
No. Althea, not on the rug.
Oh man, that rug really just pulled the room together, man.
No, actually, now I think about it, it would be Adobe who soils the
Yeah.
rug.
That would definitely be an Adobe moment.
Well, she'd have to be completely smashed first.
Oh, well, she usually is.
She's not that irresponsible.
No, she
And
just when she gets drunk, she loses a lot of restraint, like most of us.
And then Althea pulls out Maeve's game controller. What is this? And Maeve, obviously, you're not a gamer.
It would be her Switch, and it's like, yeah, I can just see her just saying that with a really snarky expression on her face. It's like,
Looks like we have another Mythochibi strip here, boys.
So, what exactly do you think Maeve will be like personality-wise when she, gets older?
no, I don't. If I talk too much about that, that's gonna be like,
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers involved there. We don't want to ruin all the lovely surprises we have planned for Maeve. So,
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Just out of curiosity, does the picture that Mr. Marvel drew up, does that show a bit of her personality that she'll have going forward?
They're
Maybe.
changing it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll just say a certain tall ginger chick was a big influence on her.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like that.
So that tattoo was came about with the powers of negromancy.
You never underestimate negromancy.
You
You always bet on negromancy.
To quote a certain Redman on YouTube, sure.
All right. Well, we're coming up on 11 o'clock my time, so that's about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good.
I want to eat. I want to get something to eat before I go to bed.
I think it's a good spot to call it for tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, thanks for showing off my fan art, though.
Absolutely. Anyone else wants to do fan art for us, we will definitely get around to showing it on stream eventually, if at all. No, I'm joking. I'm thrilled to receive all the fan art, and I absolutely want to make sure everyone sees it, and that you guys get the proper kudos for doing it.
He can only share the ones that are appropriate.
Well, yeah, obviously. But
yeah.
So far they've all been appropriate, with a few exceptions.
We don't want it to get flagged.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get flagged. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining us in the chat. Salem and King Pickle 2099. That's what I'm going to call you.
Dylan. Just call me Dylan.
I know. Yeah. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Salem. Thank you, everyone else, Gorgonite Emissary, for chatting. Thanks, Heather, even though you're not here anymore. Thanks, Blind Artist, all that. We had a great time, and we will do this again next week.
Alrighty.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Take care, guys. I'm going to lead out with the Adobe Kroger theme, and have a wonderful night.